Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You've tuned in to the Free Range Human Show of Choice, your daily dose of reality radio. This, my friends, is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards. We are live on 103.9 FM WYAB, streaming in 4K video at the Save JXN, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. And, of course, on WYAB.com, as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. Just search WYAB if you so choose to. Good morning to everybody out there in radio land and on the internet. We are not streaming on Facebook this morning. We're not streaming on Facebook. For some reason, there's a little error there. Actually, I know what it is. It is your boy's fault. I was up till 1:30 in the morning doing show prep, and you have to set the date when you build these shows. There's a little more work to it than just hitting go live. You actually have to build these shows out on this platform that aggregates everything and sends it out to all the platforms. Well, I wasn't paying attention. I was like, okay, today's the 10th, or today's the 9th. So I was like, tomorrow's the 10th. I wasn't thinking that it was after midnight. So today was the 9th, not tomorrow the 10th, if that makes sense to you. Anyway, I just noticed it when I sat down and was feverishly changing it in the 3 minutes I have between changeovers here, and did not accomplish my goal in time. So Facebook, we will see you guys tomorrow. Of course, I don't know why I'm telling y'all that. You're not listening or watching. But, hey, I would prefer y'all not watch on Facebook anyway. If you got to pick one of those platforms, YouTube is the better of the two. Give me 2 seconds here. And that somebody was me, apparently. All right, we're back. Had to get a little air flowing in here. Man, Friday and Saturday night, Friday night especially, it was cold. And then Saturday night, it got cold, but not as cold as Friday night. That was rough. We're going to jump straight into some stuff here. I'm just going to get this off my chest real quick. Just a big thank you to everybody who came out to the Brandon on Ice Winter Market, Christmas Market, out in, of course, Brandon. We set up out there, did a Clay Edwards Show booth, offered T-shirts and hoodies and free stickers and stuff. And more than anything, it was just a chance to meet a bunch of listeners and internet followers and all that good stuff. I appreciate everybody that bought a hoodie or a shirt, picked up a free sticker. Much thanks. Much appreciated the support. But more than anything, I just appreciate the words of encouragement, telling us to keep fighting, doing what we do. They appreciate what we do. Your appreciation is appreciated. It's nice to get out there. If you believe the internet, if you believe what you saw on the internet exclusively, you would think that Clay Edwards couldn't go set up in a public place for 2 days without any security. But of course, the internet is not real life. The internet is simply just the internet, and typically the people who's taught the loudest are the ones willing to do the least. So I am not worried about them. If they want to foe, they're welcome to foe. Nobody chose to do that except the Grinch this weekend. If y'all go back and see my photos on my Facebook page, you'll see that the Grinch made an appearance at the Clay Edwards Show booth. I want to thank Fred Shanks for coming out and filling in a tight spot for me. We had to do a show. We had to do a show out there, and co-host couldn't make it, so Fred came out there. We did about an hour and a half live Saturday. Y'all go check that out on all the aforementioned platforms: X, Rumble, Facebook, YouTube at Save JXN. Good show. We talked about all kind of stuff, all kind of stuff. Very little sports. Big sports day. We're going to talk about sports this morning. We're not going to start off with it, but we are going to talk about some football, college football playoffs in particular. I didn't watch any pro stuff yesterday, so I don't even know who won a single game. I know the Bills lost, but I don't even remember who they played to tell you who won. I just know the Bills. Was it the Rams? Yeah, the Bills lost to the Rams, I think. But other than that, that game was on in the background when I was trying to clean up a little bit. But otherwise, I watched. What did I watch? I watched the new Bad Boys movie on Netflix. I didn't necessarily binge watching, is it? Watched the new episode of Yellowstone last night. I know a lot of hate online for this final few episodes of Yellowstone. I mean, look, Costner chose not to come back. They're having to do what they have to do. I think it's some of the best stuff they've done yet. I see that a lot of fans are upset with Tyler Sheridan. Is that his name? the director, producer of the show, for making the last couple episodes all about him. He's the horse trainer guy. If you've been watching, you know what I'm talking about. It works for me. I don't have a problem with it. I think the plot line over these last couple episodes has been really good. Do they kill Jamie? That's does Jamie survive? I hope not. I hope Beth kills his ass. So, speaking of Beth, if Beth is your girlfriend's role model, big red flag, run. If Beth from Yellowstone is your girlfriend or wife's role model, run. Huge red flag. Speaking of red flags, is Jay-Z your favorite rapper? There's a transition right there, isn't it? There's a transition. I did not watch any news yesterday. It was about 7 o'clock last night. I got online and just happened to, when it was 6:30, I was waiting for Yellowstone to start, so I had about a 30-minute window there with nothing on, per se. So I put it on old Salty Cracker. And, man, I found out about the Jay-Z pedophilia, underage rape scandal. Of course, tied in with do the Diddy deed if you want to. P. Diddy at a Diddy party. Man, look, we've been telling y'all for years. This is another throw a dollar and the Clay Edwards Show and like-minded individuals will write again tip jar. We've been telling y'all for years that Jay and Bey, that's Beyonce, that Jay and Bey were into some weird stuff. There had been rumors for years that they were possibly into some, allegedly of course, into some human trafficking. Underage human trafficking. So, if you've been following any of this stuff, and it ain't just them, it's all of pop and hip hop, rap, upper mainstream, all that. All of them. I mean, for instance, your Justin Bieber, allegedly, of course, was raped 6 ways from Sunday by P. Diddy. There's a video of P. Diddy and Bieber. I want to say, is it on a beach or, I don't think it's a beach. Maybe some water in the background, but maybe been at an airport or something. Outside a private jet. And Bieber walks up to Diddy or vice versa, and Diddy's checking him for a wire. Because he knows. And then there's some video of Bieber breaking down on stage crying around the same time, I want to say, that Diddy got arrested. Anyway, all sorts of weird stuff going on there. But if you haven't been paying attention, Jay-Z has been accused of raping a minor, a 13-year-old girl, at a MTV VMAs after party in 2000 with Sean Diddy Combs. Where Sean Diddy Combs was present, and Jay-Z, of course, denied these accusations and accused the lawyer of blackmail. I don't think it's blackmail. I'm all in. And boy, us conspiracy theorists, I'm all in until I'm wrong. I am all in until I'm wrong. I believe that they're all a bunch of pedos. I believe just about every famous person that's in that ultra 1% of famous or have been trafficked and are trafficking. I think the Diddy honeypot is going to end up being way more culturally relevant than the Epstein honeypot. I think the Epstein honeypot is going to have way more to do with politics and political figures and blackmail of political figures. And of course, all that will affect our day-to-day lives more. I believe the honeypot that is Diddy is going to change your music playlist forever. When and your viewing habits forever. When you find out some of the celebrities, which we need a good draining of the swamp, a good cleansing of the entertainment industry. We need a real good cleansing of the entertainment industry. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, are you still going to listen to an artist that was trafficking and raping children? I remember it was probably the mid-2000s. When did Jay-Z's Black album come out? Like, that's the one where we started saying Jay-Z's adult rap. It's rap for grown folks. I mean, it's rap for grown folks that like to rape little children. I'm sorry if you have kids in the car with you this morning, but this is the biggest story of the day, and we're leading with the biggest story of the day. What year? Let's Google it real quick. I should have done this last night, but the way I do show prep is I make a few notes, I put a few links in, and then I get to talking live on the radio, and I think about things that I didn't think about when I was by myself. That's why I love live, kind of live without a net, because that's where the best ideas come from, because you're forced to think on your feet. I can't stand listening to a pre-recorded podcast or watching a pre-recorded video where there's a bunch of stop edits. No, just think on your feet. I'll put myself up against 90% of the people who pre-record their stuff and have to use stop edits. I bet you I'm better than them. Let's see here. When did Jay-Z's Black album come out? Let's see here. Somebody has asked this question before. I didn't have to finish typing it. November 14th, 2003. Yep, so that's about the time I remember, because I had my club downtown, 105 at the time. And for some reason, when that album came out, I bought it, and I liked the album. I remember driving through the Waterworks curve. It's always funny how you can go back to an exact moment in time and remember exactly where you were. I left Best Buy. I'm still buying CDs. I left Best Buy, bought the CD. I was coming through the Waterworks curve, listening to it, and I remembered thinking to myself, this grown folks rap. Maybe I'd heard somebody else say that, but I remember having that thought and thinking like stuff like Lil Wayne and all the stuff coming out of the South was more for kids. Lollipop and it's all that kind of stuff. That was club music. Granted, I owned a club at the time. I financially benefited greatly from it. Your Soulja Boys, just all that terrible. For a while there, Southern rap turned into nursery rhymes. And there's literally, as Democrats like to say, there's literally a rap song about the wheels on the bus going round and round. So, anyway. Yeah, apparently Jay-Z, grown folks rap. I want to go back and listen to all of it now. I want to go back and listen to it to see, not because I want to listen to it, but I want to try to listen to the lyrics and decode them a little bit and see if he talks about his experiences of raping children. I talk about my experiences on this show constantly. I think when you're a creative mind, you have a show you do or you produce content of any kind, I think a lot of it comes from your personal experiences. We just always like to say, these guys were honorable drug dealers. They were honorable drug dealers. No, we're not honorable drug dealer. There's no such thing as an honorable drug dealer. Shut up with that. You're poisoning your communities. You're a piece of trash. Let's take a break. Come back. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. You want to call in this morning. The Mazda of Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Rolling on down the tracks this morning on a Monday on 103.9 FM, WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. We're live here on 103.9 FM, WYAB. We're tinkering with some new toys that we got on the live stream. I got some new overlays with the logo. I got a countdown timer. It's really not for commercial breaks. It's for if I can get in here and start the show soon enough. It's like a 3-minute countdown timer. Our commercial breaks are 4 minutes. So anyway, I was playing with that, so I forgot that when the 3 minutes ran up, there was just a minute of the camera staring aimlessly at me while I was looking at other websites. Hey, this segment is going to be brought to you by our friends over at Burgers Blues Barbecue. I guess no time better than the present to announce the date of the annual Clay Edwards Show Christmas party. That's going to be Christmas Eve. We're going to take it all the way up against the wall this year to the Monday, December 23rd. I know. Clay, why on a Monday? Well, look, unless you work in retail, over-the-road trucking, or what's the other thing? Oh, yeah, the restaurant and bar business, the service industry, you should have Christmas Eve off. So you can nurse the hangover or whatever. I won't be here. We're playing Christmas music, I think Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on WYAB. So I'll be off. And let's just be honest, this is a self-serving favor. I'm doing this because I'll be off the next day. So Christmas Eve, starting around 5:30, 6 o'clock. As you're getting off work, just swing on by the downtown Brandon location. Yes, I'm being selfish there as well. I'm having it in home base, 2 blocks from my house. Circle the date, December 23rd. That's Christmas Eve. Is it the 3rd or 4th annual Clay Edwards Show Christmas party? We'll have been doing the show for 4 years in February, but I don't think I did one the first year. So just for the sake of arguing, it's the 3rd annual. Yeah, it is the 3rd. I did not do one the first year. I started doing them when I moved to Brandon. 3rd annual Clay Edwards Show Christmas party. I am efforting some live entertainment now that I have the date. I settled on it over the weekend. But in the meantime, don't forget that Burgers Blues Barbecue can handle all your holiday catering needs, whether it's fried turkey, smoked turkeys, hams, wings, and more, Boston butts. They got it all. They can handle your Christmas parties. They got the huge patio out there at the Brandon location and others, if you like mine. And, of course, just get by there anytime. Grab a great blue plate 5 days a week and one of their award-winning burgers, smoked wings, appetizers, buffalo chicken wraps. Oh, man, it's all so good at Burgers Blues Barbecue. Check them out online, burgersblues.com. Don't forget you can book their multiple food trucks for all of your special events. They had them out at the Christmas thing Friday night. I saw one of them there, talked to the girl, and they have rebranded the catering in B3 Catering, so make sure you check that out. All right, man, let's jump in here. Was there music playing during the break? People were saying there was some elevator music or something. Gosh, I bet you YouTube gives me a strike for that. That's going to suck. I paid a guy in Pakistan to make that for me on Fiverr. I didn't know he put music on it. I bet you I get hit with a copyright strike for that. Oh, well. We will overcome that if we must. Let's see here. Let's go back to Jay-Z. So I jumped down a rabbit hole here on X. Or somebody else jumped down a rabbit hole. I'm going to jump down it with them. And they said it's called Miss Facto. I'll tell you, let's do that. Let's go over. Let's just look at the allegations first, shall we? It says Jay-Z was accused of raping a minor along with Sean Diddy Combs at a MTV VMAs after party in 2000, according to documents obtained by Fox News Digital. And man, I'll tell you, I didn't hear about this till 6:30 last night. And then within 30 minutes, I had a notification on my phone from every news outlet I follow, even WLBT and WJTV, discussing these allegations. So it blew up, and it blew up quick and in a hurry. Blew up quick and in a hurry. It says the lawsuit, which was initially filed in October, was refiled Sunday in New York by an anonymous accuser claiming Jay-Z, whose full name is Sean Carter, raped her while Combs and Celebrity B watched. Initially, the lawsuit stated Combs raped the minor while Celebrity A and Celebrity B watched. Carter was named as Celebrity A in the refiled lawsuit. Jay-Z denied the allegations and accused lawyer Tom Busby of blackmail in a statement made through Roc Nation banner. Quote, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tom Busby, Jay-Z shared in a statement posted on Roc Nation's X account. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. Jay-Z continued, these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whoever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. In a statement provided to Fox News Digital, Diddy reps once again denied allegations, saying the amended complaint and the recent extortion lawsuit against Mr. Busby exposes his barrage of lawsuits against Mr. Combs, that's Diddy, for what they are, shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them, just as lies have been spread about Mr. Combs. They continued, as his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. The lawsuit stated that Jay-Z has been with Combs during many such instances described herein, and that both perpetrators must face justice. The music moguls are allegedly so close that Combs stated in 2023 that Carter is the only person other than Combs' mother who is allowed to call him by his name, Sean. Boy, I'll call you anything I want. These celebrities who give themselves fake names, thinking that we're not allowed to call them by their fake names. I'm sorry. They think we must call them by their fake names, not allowed to call them by their real names. Get down off your high horse. Get down. Get on out of here. Combs and Carter allegedly took turns assaulting the minor, according to the lawsuit. Many others were present at the after party, but did nothing to stop the assault. The 13-year-old girl was dropped off at Radio City Music Hall by a friend as she wanted to attend the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000, according to a lawsuit, in an attempt to gain entry to the venue. She began approaching limousine drivers waiting outside the celebrity-filled event. One of the limousine drivers she spoke to claimed to work for Diddy, the lawsuit read. He told her that Combs liked younger girls and she said fit what Diddy was looking for, not allowing her into the awards, but inviting her to an after party. The 13-year-old recognized many celebrities upon arrival at the party and was required to sign a non-disclosure agreement. However, she was not given a copy. Combs, who would have been 30 years old at the time, then allegedly attempted to force the girl to perform oral sex on him. He stopped after she hit him in the neck, according to the lawsuit. Representatives for Jay-Z did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital request for a comment. Diddy was charged with racketeering, yada, 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 yada. A lot of stuff there. I'm going to be honest. I ain't saying it ain't true. I mean, because I do believe that they're highly involved in this stuff. I don't know that that story makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you've ever tried to go to one of these award shows. She clearly didn't get in. Maybe she was a big fan. I haven't lived in New York. I don't know what the culture's really like up there. But I find it hard to, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't find it hard to believe that a 13-year-old would get dropped off somewhere. I think about some little 13-year-old girls running around Jackson doing what they're doing, getting pregnant and stuff. So, bad parenting, all that. So maybe it's not far from a stretch at all. But in 2003, Jay-Z was with Beyonce, if my timeline is correct. We got to take another break. When we come back, we're going to jump all the way down the rabbit hole about Jay-Z and Beyonce. And maybe you think for a minute that, Clay, he's married to Beyonce. He wouldn't do that. Beyonce was 16 when they met. 16. So we got the numbers, we got the timeline, we got it all right here on the Clay Edwards Show when we come back. We're going to get to some other stuff this morning too, but I want to jump down this rabbit hole because I'm telling y'all, this urban black hip-hop culture is rotten to the core. And the people who are responsible for this culture at the very top are now all tied up in human sex trafficking and child rape charges and accusations. So that's something we talk about a lot on this show. It's a controversial topic, calling out the culture, hashtag for the culture. The few other shows do. So when we get a chance to be proven right, we roll with it. We'll roll right back on the other side of this break. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. We are live here on WYAB, streaming worldwide, WYAB.com, as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. And, of course, we're streaming in 4K video on X, not Facebook. We're on X, YouTube, and Rumble this morning at SaveJXN. This segment brought to you by El Potrillo Mexican restaurant, guys. I heard it was packed Friday night at El Potrillo. Or maybe it was Saturday night. Maybe it was both nights. We were set up there right across the street in Brandon, and people were leaving dinner and coming over to the ice skating rink, which is open to the end of the month. Make sure y'all get out there and check out Brandon on ice. And people were stopping by the booth, and, yeah, man, we just ate at El Potrillo. I'm like, I wish I was eating at El Potrillo right now, not out here in the cold. But look, man, if you're looking for the perfect place to unwind with friends and family, El Potrillo Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Brandon, El Potrillo is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Potrillo's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep the customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Potrillo and taste the tradition. El Potrillo, where family, flavor, and fun come together. Great authentic Mexican restaurant, locally owned, locally operated. Hey, they do have their family-friendly areas, but they also have their adult-friendly areas known as the bar sections at both restaurants. And they're not out in the open like a lot of restaurants have the bar just in the middle and just all one big room. El Potrillo, both bars are cut out with a wall that separates them from the rest of the restaurant. And then they have the patios on the other side. So you have like an entire adult playland over there, but nobody's kids. Look, I love people's kids. I do. But I don't want to be around them at the Mexican restaurant or any other restaurant for that matter. Quick rabbit hole time. Diversion from the Jay-Z Beyonce, or Jay-Z Diddy allegations. Speaking of being around kids at a bar in a Mexican restaurant, I don't know if I've told this story on here before or not, but probably about the same timeline, early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, on the border. Used to be out there in North Jackson. Man, there used to be so many great places in North Jackson. Don't get me started this morning. Clay, do not jump down the used to be in Jackson nostalgia rabbit hole. On the border, we used to love to go sit at the bar section, the bar area at On the Border. Most people, and this is back when you could still smoke inside, and I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I've smoked plenty of other things, but I never smoked a cigarette for some reason. Great debate there. What has longer term negative effects on one's internal system? Smoking drugs, powdered and greenery, or smoking cigarettes? I've yet to meet a single person that died or got cancer from smoking meth or marijuana. But I know plenty of people who have died and gotten cancer, or got cancer and died from smoking cigarettes long term. Never thought about that out loud. That's a rough one there. Anyway, so they had the smoking section at On the Border. And we were sitting there doing what people do, doing what 20-something-year-olds do at On the Border, at any bar. We were drinking. My friends were smoking cigarettes. We were having a good old time. Lots of cuss words, probably. Lots of cuss words being thrown around. but it's happy hour. We're at a bar. Well, some guy chooses to come and sit down beside us with his kid. And in my mind, I'm going Sweet Home Alabama here. And I don't even know if this movie was out yet. But I'm like, you got a baby in a bar. It wasn't a baby. It was probably a 10-year-old kid. But I'm still thinking, this ain't going to end well. I just know this ain't going to end well. We're over here having way too much drunk, frat boy kind of fun. And, of course, that's exactly what ended up happening. This guy sat in the smoking section, sat in the bar area so he could smoke with his kid. We're over here cussing, raising hell, having a good time. And he's like, hey, y'all think y'all quit cussing? I got my kid over here. I'm like, man, you're giving your kid cancer. You sat in the bar area so you could smoke and blow it in your kid's face, but you're worried about the cuss words his little virgin ears are hearing? They got up and moved. He was outnumbered. But it's one of those things that I will never, ever forget in my life. This guy is worried about the cuss words his kid is hearing. And we were wrong. We shouldn't have been cussing, like that around kids. We should have had enough respect, but we were young and dumb. But he was also adult and stupid for sitting with his kid in the smoking section at a bar. Because by this time, they had moved the smoking sections in restaurants just to the bar areas. You couldn't smoke in like just the dining area anymore. There wasn't like a smoking dining area. It was a smoking bar area. And I've never smoked in my life, but I just always had to deal with it. Owning those clubs back in the 90s, not the 90s, I'm dating myself a little there, going to clubs in the 90s and owning them in the 2000s. And look, I don't think I ever owned a club or went to a club that had satisfactory air conditioning. Considering that I like to sleep in my house on 61, it's suffice to say that very few public places outside of Guns and Gear have satisfactory air conditioning. Guns and Gear is the coldest retail store I've ever been in my life. But I digress. So many nights, my clothes would just be drenched from a good Mississippi summer. Going and being in a club as a guest or as an owner or employee or whatever. And I sweat a lot. I'm a sweater. My sweat glands work. And all that nicotine, that cigarette smoke connected to that sweat. Some of y'all can smell it now. I've triggered a memory for some of y'all this morning. That pile of hot, sweaty clothes over there on your bedroom floor. And you wake up the next morning and your whole bedroom smells like a smoky, sweaty, hot cigarette. And God forbid if you have any alcohol spilled on it yourself as well. And for a guy that don't smoke, look, y'all know I'm deaf. I have one ear completely useless. I have one eye that's 90% useless. I just all messed up. But you know what does work well? My nose. I can smell a fart from a football field away. I can smell a cigarette from 5 miles away. And man, if I was a drug dog, I could find wherever your marijuana is hidden. If there's marijuana in my presence, I know it. They could be, I'm over here on Highway 49. If y'all are familiar with Florida, I'm in the shopping center on 49. There's only one. There's a gas station across the parking lot from here. Somebody could light up a blunt over there this morning, and I could smell it all the way over here. And I know y'all are saying to yourself, well, Clay, all this new super duper weed, everybody can smell it. I've always been like this, even when that stuff was grown, that old dirt weed. My nose works. If nothing else, my nose works. That's true what they say. If some of your senses go bad, that your other senses naturally get better or get stronger. That is 100% accurate. 100% accurate. Anyway, that was my Mexican rabbit hole there. You won't have to deal with those concerns anymore if you go to El Potrillo because their bar area is separate from the entire restaurant. And I've never seen a kid sitting in the bar areas there, but that doesn't mean that they're not allowed there maybe during lunch or something. I'm thinking about the next FAFO Friday lunch. I promise I'm going to get back to the Jay-Z, Beyonce stuff, and we got a lot of other things we're going to hit this morning. Would y'all guys, I want to ask the public here, if you're watching online, let me know in the comments. If you're listening on the radio this morning or on the live stream, non-video platforms, text into the Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. If you know my number, Facebook, whatever, send me a message. Send a carrier pigeon, whatever. Let me know. I know there's a lot of people who aren't going to want to come out to the bar. We got a lot of friends that are in recovery. We got a lot of friends that don't drink. They don't want to come to the bar at nighttime. I've just got a lot of people who are tired at night and don't want to go after work. If we do like a double Christmas party type thing, what if we do a FAFO Friday lunch somewhere? The Friday before Christmas, what would that be? The 20th or 21st? Would y'all be interested in that also? I'm trying to pull my calendar up here to tell you the exact date. The 20th. It'd be Friday the 20th. If we did a lunch somewhere, would you guys be interested in that? That can't make it to the Christmas party. Or, hey, you want to do both? Do both. I really got fired up getting to meet everybody this weekend. I met over 100 people this weekend that listen to this show or had never heard of this show and are supposed to be listening this morning, and just had great conversations with folks. Took a bunch of pictures with people, and it just got me fired up, man, of really, really getting back to one of the whole purposes of starting this show, which was to build community. And that's why I host these events. They're not to stroke my ego to see how many people want to come have lunch with Clay. That's not why I do any of this. I do this because I want to build community. And I want to meet you guys. I want you guys to meet each other. I want small business owners to come and network and meet potential customers. I want people to know that there's other people out there that are like-minded individuals, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, whatever, Middle Eastern. With this radio show, for somebody that gets called a racist as much as I do, I've got quite a large variety of demographics of people that listen to this show and enjoy it, because we speak the truth here, and the truth is very forgivable, even when you offend people. Sometimes I've learned, because the comment I get more than anything is, I don't always agree with you, but I know you're being honest. I get that, and thank you for saying the things that we can't say, and I'll tolerate the things I disagree with when you say the things I can't say sometimes. I can respect that, so I appreciate that. But anyway, I do this because I want us all to meet each other and get out there and network. We've got to take a last break of this hour real quick. We will be right back. All right, guys. Well, I jumped right down a rabbit hole there, didn't I? I apologize if y'all were just ear to the ground thinking about, wanting to know about Jay-Z. We'll wrap the Jay-Z stuff up at the top of the next hour, I guess. I would just do it now and during the commercial break. But the problem is I've now left the radio people with a cliffhanger, and I can't do the radio audience wrong, because the radio audience is way larger than the streaming audience. Now, I have a more personal connection with the streaming audience because I'm sitting here and I can see your faces, your names, your comments. Shout out to everybody listening this morning. But the radio audience is the much bigger audience. I mean, it's, 10, 15,000 people at times. So it's hard to, I can't poo-poo on them during these breaks. And that's been one of the reasons that I haven't been talking during the commercial breaks as much over the last week, is because I feel like I've been alienating the radio audience, because we just continue talking and then we pick back up on the other side of the commercial break when we come back from radio, or come back from commercial break on radio, and we don't circle back to where we left off on radio. And now they're picking up like it's like reading a book. You guys are reading the whole chapter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Radio is hearing 1, 3, 5. And they're missing the segments that we talk about in the middle. It's a hard balance. It really is. So it's live and learn, man. There's no instruction manual on how to do any of this stuff. I'm learning on the fly. I appreciate y'all's support. I truly do. Also, a little plug here. The sports show was supposed to happen Saturday at McBee's this week, and unfortunately it didn't. I overestimated my ability to be in multiple places at one time. I usually underestimate my ability to achieve things and accomplish goals. I overestimated my ability by thinking that I could get in and out of the Christmas market, sit down, break up, go do the show at McBee's, come back, set up, and all that. And once I got set up Friday, I realized real quick that it was going to be impossible to do the sports show from McBee's Saturday morning. So I had to cancel on them Friday evening. And then we ended up having to cancel the sports show altogether because Sean had something come up and wasn't feeling good and couldn't make it. And that's where Fred came in and jumped in, and we just did a live show Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock from Brandon on Ice. But I just want to give a shout out to McBee's here. If y'all are looking for somewhere great to eat, talk about a good blue plate lunch. If you're out in Ridgeland in that area, man, swing by McBee's. We don't have any other sponsors over there in that general vicinity. You know, I don't feel like we're taking away from any of our sponsors to tell y'all that. You know where McBee's is, right there on the Spillway, Lake Harbor Drive. Been there since 1982. This is a very locally centric show. You know where Dan McBee's is if you listen to this show, if you're from around here anyway. So swing by there and check out their great blue plate lunches and all the football games too. They got the Sunday ticket. So even the out-of-market games stream at McBee's. All right, we're getting ready to come back from commercial break. Going to be a quick little moment of silence. And no, I don't still play Jay-Z. I see that comment there. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. We got about a minute left here before our top of the hour news break. I ran over. I'm a habitual runner over of time on these segments, and it always takes away from this very last segment of the hour. All these segments are supposed to be equal time, like 9.5 minutes each. But y'all know that we never accomplish that. I never hit that mark. We have 3 long segments and then one uber short segment. That uber short segment is ending now. We'll be back in 7 minutes. I'm going to stay live on the live stream, answering any questions you have this morning. So check us out there and don't go anywhere. We will be right back on WYAB. Well, I nailed the landing right there. Not a second of dead air when the outro music started. Not a second. Let's see here. I got a little camera action at the house. Oh, looks like my daughter's on the way. Is going to be on time for work this morning. She was leaving out about 15 minutes ago. My buddy Jason Odom. Shout out to Jason Odom. I don't know if he's listening on the radio or online. But Jason, if you're watching the stream, Jason is our official Uber driver of the Clay Edwards Show. Well, look at there. That all fits. Jason's the official Uber driver of the Clay Edwards Show. There he is. There's Jason. Jason is going to be offering, they're not free. Your boy got to make money. But Jason is going to be doing Uber rides for the Christmas party. So if I'll have his information there. I will have Jason's information there at the Christmas party. If you're just tuning in, we did announce the 3rd annual Clay Edwards Show Christmas party. Monday, Christmas Eve at Burgers Blues Barbecue, downtown Brandon for the 3rd year in a row. I want to thank Steven Soller and his team there at Burgers Blues Barbecue for hosting us. We're a little rowdy of a crowd. You know, the last couple of years, over 100 people showed up for this thing. We've never had less than 100 people show up for the Clay Edwards Show Christmas party. It's kind of the de facto, unofficial WYAB Christmas party. Everybody's welcome. Hope everybody comes. And we do Burgers Blues because it's a block from my house. I'm just going to be just totally selfish reasons, but they're such dang good hosts. The food is so consistent. The drinks are so consistent. And I just like it. I was a huge supporter of theirs since day one on County Line Road when it was Burgers and Blues. Then they added barbecue to the name. So they've been a big part of my life for a long time. So we'd like to pay it forward and support those guys. And that's when I started doing the FAFO Friday lunches to spread that around to the other sponsors. And I got to get more consistent with that. I really do. But like I said, I got my batteries fired back up, getting out there and getting amongst the people this weekend at the Brandon on Ice thing. That was so much fun. I'm telling y'all, if y'all got kids, or even not, man, if you and your girlfriend, you and your boyfriend, whatever, looking for something to do, get out to Brandon on Ice. It's neat. Free to get in most of the time. If it ain't free, it's $5. I mean, come on, man, $5. Now, it ain't free to ice skate. I think that's like $8 or $12, depending on if you're a kid or an adult, but it's cheaper than going to a movie. And you're supporting a great cause, the Exchange Club of Brandon. Great cause. There's no more foosball. Foosball's the devil. It's the Democrats. But I'm not going to let them Democrats take my joy from me. I ain't going to do it. We're going to talk about the college football playoffs. We're going to talk about the mayor of Jackson. How did he end up on that boat in Miami? We're going to talk about the Mississippi Today versus Phil Bryant. The Supreme Court has declined to hear Mississippi Today's appeal in that court case. And Michael Guest and his ban of TikTok. We're going to talk about that. We're getting ready to come back from commercial break now, so we're going to get a quick moment of silence so my yapping doesn't run over into the intro. Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show on 103.9 FM WYAB, streaming worldwide on WYAB.com, Alexa, and tune in. Just search WYAB if you want the audio. Also, if you listen to it that way and you like all of our other shows that we have here at WYAB, just rip the damn knob off. That'll let you listen to it from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, from Mexico to Canada, the 51st and 52nd soon-to-be states of the United States of America. As my great President, Lord and Savior Donald J. Trump said the other day, if Mexico and Canada continue to be funded by us, then we should be collecting taxes from them. Ooh, I like the way it sounds. It just sounds so good coming out of my mouth. Anyway, we're also streaming in 4K video this morning. We're not on Facebook this morning, but we are on YouTube, X, and Rumble at SaveJXM. I'm in the process currently, while I run my mouth, of sharing the Facebook live stream. the YouTube live stream to Facebook. Y'all, please do that this morning if you don't mind. If you're watching on YouTube or X, man, hit that share button. Go to YouTube and hit share to Facebook. Dude, that does so much for this platform and for YouTube. That algorithm, if it shows you sharing from YouTube to X or from YouTube to Facebook, boy, YouTube loves seeing that their stuff is being shared to other platforms, and they will naturally boost our stuff, and they will start recommending it to more people that aren't subscribers. And that, I can't tell you how valuable that is. Maybe you don't want to buy a FAFO shirt. I get it. I don't get it, honestly. I think everybody should want an FAFO shirt. Some girl walked up to me at the Brandon on Ice, and she touched my sternum area. She's like, I can't believe you're not wearing a bulletproof vest. I said, well, the internet ain't real life, sweetie. The internet is not real life. She's like, I'd be scared to death to wear an FAFO shirt. People know that I listen to you. I was like, what are they going to do? I told y'all it's like the Mississippi MAGA. The FAFO Clay Edwards Show version of the shirts. It is the Mississippi MAGA. It is a movement. It lets people know what you're about, what you stand for. Did you know, I am not kidding. Half the people that bought a shirt or a hoodie from me this weekend were black. Do not believe these little thugs, these little future rocket scientists and engineers and possibly even a future astronaut or two. Do not believe the crap they say online. Oh, we gonna get you, boy. We gonna get you if you see me. First off, John Cena style here, you can't see me. You ain't gonna see me nowhere. All y'all do is go to gas stations and do ghetto photo shoots and little trashy bars in Jackson. You ain't gonna see me anywhere. We don't run in the same circles. Anyway, half the people that bought merch from me this weekend were black. So I thought that was so cool. So cool. Because it just busts up those narratives. But circling back, hit that share button. If you don't want to do nothing else, share the content. That helps this show grow. You know, if you don't want to buy a shirt or a hoodie or whatever, do that for your boy. And I promise it is much, much appreciated. That can be my Christmas present from you guys, is share the content like I'm doing now. I'm multitasking here. I'm a great multitasker. Real quick, a lot of y'all are going to jump on New Year, New You, New Year, New Me stuff. You're going to set some weight loss, some physical fitness goals this year. How about a head start? How about reaching out to Men's Health in Mississippi? And ladies, they got this is going to be a split thing here. Men's Health for the testosterone. Men, I'm going to give y'all a number. I'm going to give both y'all, I'm going to give everybody a number here at the end. Men, you're going to text my name, Clay, for testosterone. Everybody, men and women, you're going to text weight loss for the generic Ozempic. It's called compounded semaglutide. And we're going to get you a head start on your physical fitness goals this year. Guys, they also write Viagra out of Men's Health. Just FYI, in case you wanted to know. Or women, you're listening this morning. Your husband been underperforming a little bit. Send him on over to Men's Health. Let Scott write him up a little elixir of blue pills and testosterone. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. Happy wife, happy life. I'm going to tell you what. Happy wife, happy life, my butt. Guys, you get your sexual confidence back. You get to feeling better about yourself and you know what goes on, what you can do in that bed. It changes every aspect of your life. You get your swagger back, your confidence back in the bedroom, and it translates to everything else you do in your life. Speaking from experience, I'm just saying, if you're in sales, you know you got to have your confidence has got to be up. Like, you know you got to feel like you're a winner. You're a closer. You can do it. First place wins a BMW. Second place gets steak knives. You're winning the BMW. Or is it a Cadillac from that movie? Glenn Ross. I'm just saying. Anyway, don't wait till January. Start now with testosterone or Ozempic or generic Ozempic from Men's Health and New Care. New Care is the general practice where they write for men and women. Men's Health is obviously for Men's Health. There's also a women's wellness clinic upstairs that does all the women anti-aging stuff too. Just a great place. Just a great place altogether. I want you guys to take advantage of it. So text. You know, you would think I would remember the number by heart by now, and I thought I did. And I don't. So give me 2 seconds to pull it up here. I did that update on my iPhone, and my pictures have gotten so difficult to find. Text Clay to 601-327-8550 for testosterone. Text weight loss to 601-327-8550 for the generic Ozempic. And get a head start on your new year, new you weight loss or muscle building, physical fitness goals. All right. Hey, I'm serious about that. Anything I tell y'all or try to sell y'all like that is stuff I've done myself. And I know find another radio host in Mississippi that'll get on here and tell you that you need to be on that Viagra if you're over a certain age. Hey, I mean, maybe you don't need to be. But, hey, I'm going to tell you what. Talk about a performance-enhancing drug. I'm nodding my head aggressively, yes. For those that aren't watching on video. Definitely a game changer. And the testosterone, guys, look, I mean, if you've seen me anytime over the last couple of years, you know I look like a completely different human being than I did 3 years ago. So check all that out. All right, let's jump back in. I want to bring a close to the Jay-Z and Beyonce stuff because I jumped all down some rabbit holes last time. Did y'all know that Jay-Z is 55 years old? Beyonce is 43. They started dating when she was somewhere between 16 and 19 years old, which would have put him at around 28 years old. Now, that's a 12-year difference. Me and my girlfriend are about the same now, but we did not meet when she was 16. We met when she was 35. I'm 47. Big difference. So he was robbing the cradle at a very young age. So I'm just going to read a few of these things here because you need to understand, like, don't think that this dude wasn't attracted to young girls at this timeline. I did say earlier that I think him and Beyonce were together at this point in 2000 when these accusations happened. They were not together. At the earliest they would have met would have been 2001, if my math is correct, which I've got it scribbled down over here on a piece of paper so y'all can see. So it says, this lady says, so I went down a rabbit hole with the whole Jay-Z Diddy thing. Never thought ever this man could be a predator, but what do I know? Crazy things that I found out. In an interview with Charlie Ross in 2007, Jay-Z admitted that he and Beyonce, let me see if I can read this right. In the interview with Charlie Ross in 2007, Jay-Z admitted that he met Beyonce when she was just 16 in 97 and they started dating in 99. So there goes my math. This is important because it was Jay-Z, a female celebrity, and Diddy in this room sexually assaulting this girl, allegedly, of course. Now I need to go back and maybe try to find some YouTube footage. Was Jay-Z with Beyonce at the VMAs in 2000? I would bet that he was. If they started dating around 99, surely you're two of the biggest artists in the world. You went to the VMAs together. Woo! Was Beyonce in the room while Jay was allegedly, of course, raping a 13-year-old? There's been rumors about it for a long time. Continuing on down this rabbit hole, Beyonce has had a history of occasional slips, particularly when it comes to recalling her age during her first courtship. Over the years, she has mentioned being 17, 18, or 19, depending on the interview. Let me look. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt there. I misremember stuff all the time. Like, depending on who you ask. I lived in L.A., that's Los Angeles, anywhere from 1 month to a year. Mama says it was about a month. I say it was about a year. Continuing on. There's a picture of Jay-Z with Destiny's Child here, I believe. That was the group that Beyonce was in before she became Beyonce, a solo artist. It says she definitely met Jay-Z when she was just 16 years old in 97. That's when that picture was taken. In a 2007 interview, Jay-Z mentioned first noticing Beyonce about 10 years earlier, around the time she was recording Destiny's Child's debut album at 15 years old. This suggests he had been aware of her or keeping an eye on her since she was 15 or 16 during the time she recorded No, No, No. You know, I remember when 95.5 The Beat brought Destiny's Child to Jackson. They played at Smithville Stadium. I think it was a free radio show. And there was probably 1,000 people there. So tell you, I haven't seen Destiny's Child before. Shout out to Scott Steele. Anyway, continuing on, her 2008 interview with 17 magazine was another one when Beyonce revealed that Jay-Z was her first serious relationship and that she had never lived with a man before him. She also mentioned that they began dating when she was 19 while he was 31. So there's the difference there, 19 and 31. Bro, that's gross. That's gross. I've seen things about me online. You know, there's a crew out there in Rankin County that are very angry with me for calling out that accused rapist, the former tax collector, tax assessor, whatever his damn name is, that just had that trial here recently. They're mad that I called him out. He's like allegedly, of course, you know, a sugar daddy for a bunch of those little girls from Richland. You know, they were making some accusations about me liking younger girls when I had my clubs. I was 25. So yeah, maybe I was hanging out with some 19, 21-year-olds, 19, 20, 21-year-olds when I was 25. I'll give you that. I was young too. Anyway, they were just calling me a hypocrite. So I'm just saying, my point being with that, jumping down that rabbit hole is, never at any point was I in my 30s finding 19-year-olds attractive. This is a conversation I've had a lot privately with people about younger girls and how hypersexualized they look now. And it's the Britney Spears effect. It's just evolved. And I said, man, I have a 22 and a 25-year-old daughter. There's no way I could ever date anybody my daughter's ages. And damn sure not younger. I just look at them different. I don't see them as sexual objects of that nature. I couldn't do that. Maybe like we all got our reasons why we don't ... Like I think for me, it's definitely the young girl thing it's just inappropriate and not attracted to younger girls. I like girls as close to my age as possible, or at least, you know, on the other side of 30. I like grown-ups. Anyhow. So 31 and 19, that's just gross. You're 31, you're worth tens of millions of dollars at that point, Jay-Z was. And he's out there dating a 19-year-old. Now, I know she was very famous at the time, and that's a trophy, you know, getting to bag a attractive celebrity. And Beyonce is a very attractive woman. I mean, anybody who says otherwise is lying to themselves. But continuing on, it says, it gets really creepy when in a song Jay-Z collaborated on with Pharrell years ago. He boasts about grooming a 19-year-old girl. Many listeners linked the lyrics to Beyonce as she was 19 when their relationship began. Jay-Z's verse 3 says, Huv got a young girl, still not quite 21. So high strung, such a vibrant thing. I introduced myself. Hi, Miss Thing, you're 19. No, you're lightning in a bottle. I give you a ring tomorrow. The scene that follows screams of horror. Classic Stephen King novel. Mama don't think you should take someone so advanced in romance. You should just wait. Papa don't preach. Huv don't bite. Huv been through it. I might mold your life because I'm going to show you right. Proper etiquette. How to hold your knife. Keep it competitive with Oprah's ice. Be like Janet. Take control of your life. What in the blue hell did I just read? I told y'all at the beginning of this show, when we first started talking about this, that I wanted to go back and listen to Jay-Z's music through the lens of knowing what we know now about these allegations of him raping a 13-year-old. And to see if he hints around anywhere in his music about this type of behavior. Because all of us that create content, whether it be a podcast, a radio show, or music, pull from our personal experiences. I have weaved in and out of personal stories all morning today. Good, bad, and ugly. And apparently that's what Jay-Z has done here as well. So we have proven one point that Jay-Z has, in fact, pulled from his personal experiences with liking young girls to and put that in music. That's gross. That's gross. Continuing on, we're going to have to take a break here. We got to take our break now. I've ran over big. Look, I'm just going to end it here. I'm going to retweet this whole feed. It's a big rabbit hole. It's from Miss Facto. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to drop it in the comments online. I'm also going to retweet it at X. Just go to Save JXN. Go to Save JXN, and I just retweeted that. I'll share the link in the Clay Edwards Show Facebook group too, and y'all can jump down that rabbit hole. I believe the accusations, and I believe a whole lot more are coming. When we come back, we're going to talk about the TikTok ban and why I blame it on all four of our Mississippi congressmen, in particularly the one from my district, Michael Guest. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Terrible, wasn't it? Here's the link. Y'all can jump down that rabbit hole. It's a long ordeal, but a lot of stuff in there. And it's got all the receipts for all of it too. There's tons of video, screenshots, pictures. All the evidence is in that whole thing. So check that out. I need to share this. I'm asking y'all to share my stuff, and I haven't. I was in the process of doing it, sharing this this video to my Facebook page. Like I said, guys, that makes such a big difference. Is that algorithm knowing you're sharing this from YouTube? All right, there we go. I shared it to my personal page and my Facebook. So, I shared it to my big page and my little page. Hi, I had to put this one more place. I said I'd put it in the Clay Edwards Show Facebook group for the radio audience. As mentioned on the show. Ah, dang it. It would help if I'm doing two things. I'm sharing stuff from my phone, from the computer. I'm all out of it this morning. Profile. Maybe one day I'll be able to afford a producer. Or I can convince Matt to let me do this from the house, and I can afford a producer to sit in here so I can do it from the house, and I got my whole computer in front of me. Y'all would be amazed at the quality of improvement this show would get if I had my big, huge widescreen with my multiple windows and all pulled up and everything. And just bam, 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 bam. If y'all ever watch my live streams from the house, just the production value is marketably better. Breaking rules when necessary. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. Apparently today has been the Jay-Z and Beyonce show. I did not intend for that to overtake the entire show. It's also been a very heavy show on our sponsors that have food and beverages. Why break the momentum there? This segment brought to you by our friends over at 042 Wine and Spirits. Guys, makes a great gift. I got to go to a Christmas luncheon, we'll call it. It's a super duper private Fight Club type of deal. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I got to swing by. It's a Secret Santa thing, and the minimum gift has got to be like $50. So I'm going to swing by 042 Wine and Spirits this morning and grab a bottle of something as my Christmas gift or my Secret Santa gift. And you should too. And they've got their Christmas boxes in, their gift sets in with the rocks glasses or shot glasses, depending on what you choose to go with. So check out 042 Wine and Spirits. Man, they got a huge selection of, you guessed it, wine and spirits being liquor. They have tons of great setup options, mixers, and all of that as well. I tell y'all, we're living in the golden age of Bloody Mary mixes. If you don't have that magic touch like Beth over at McBee's, does to make a great Bloody Mary, don't feel bad. 99% of the bartenders out there don't. She makes the best Bloody Mary I've ever had. But you can get everything you need to make that Bloody Mary at 042 Wine and Spirits. You just Beth not included. Anyway, they got it all, from Four Roses to Fireball and everything in between. Try some of the 19 Crimes wine. Last check, they had the Trump wine in stock as well. 042 Wine and Spirits, located right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80 in Cross Gates, Brandon. That's 042 Brandon. Speaking of 042 Brandon, your boy will be a judge for the Christmas parade here in a couple of days on the 13th. So if you're out and about in downtown Brandon, the judges stage is going to be right there at that fine Civil War statue, right in the heart of downtown Brandon in front of Burgers Blues Barbecue. I will be a judge. I will be on the stage there. So I will be mingling out and about. Swing by and say hello to me. Dang, man, I have timed the show out terribly this morning. We're going to jump on into it. Speaking of Brandon, why don't we talk about Michael Guest? Let's circle back. You know, TikTok has been a huge portion of my income for the last year. And when words of a ban and a vote on a ban in Congress was circling around, I reached out to my representative, Michael Guest. I do have his phone number. I shot him a text. I see him at the gym all the time. We cross paths regularly and often there in Brandon. And I asked him, I said, man, it would mean a lot to me if you would vote no on this ban. I said, you know, a huge portion of I said 50%, at that time, 50% of my income came from TikTok. 50%. And what did Michael Guest do? Michael Guest voted to eliminate 50% of Clay Edwards' income. He took my job. Forced me to find other ways to make money. I ain't gay, but $20 is $20. I'm kidding. $50 is $50. No, you know, all joking aside. Forced me to find other ways to make money. Or make less money, should I say. Because I have not recouped that 50% of income that I lost the day that ban went into effect. So y'all are saying, well, Clay, TikTok's not banned. Trust me when I tell you, the day that Congress voted to ban TikTok, they went on an absolute warpath on conservatives and pro-Trump people. The same content I was making went from making one number to making about 1/10 of that number. And that is not an exaggeration. Within about a month, 2 months, they put a stranglehold on conservative content creators. And went from making, I don't mind telling y'all, $6,000 a month to I think my last TikTok check was about $350. Same amount of content. Frankly, I think the content's gotten better. And I'm not just saying that. You know, so Michael Guest and the other three, I can't always remember their names. The other two conservative, Republican congressmen here in the state of Mississippi all followed right along and voted with Bennie Thompson in a bipartisan. Democrats love to talk about stupid stuff they do and calling it bipartisan. It was bipartisan. Anyway, they voted. If I was going to run against any of those guys, Guest, was the other one, Trent Kelly, whoever the other guy is. Anyway, if I was going to run against any of them, I'd be like, voted to ban TikTok with Bennie Thompson. Voted lockstep with Bennie, boom, boom, Trump hating, J6 conspiracy theorist, Bennie Thompson. Voted with Bennie Thompson to put Mississippi creators out of business. I had a conversation with a guy the other night that I never met before. And we were talking about some stuff, and our conversation inevitably led to Brandon, Mississippi Republicans. And just, he had said, yeah, there's times that I don't like calling myself a Republican. I said, yeah, well, yeah, me too. And I mentioned my dislike for Michael Guest's political decisions and the way he voted. Well, why don't you like Michael Guest? I mean, he's the golden boy out there in Brandon. You're really not allowed to say that you're not a fan of Michael Guest in Brandon. People look at you like you got three heads. And I explained it to him. And I explained it to another guy that night. Did a lot of talking about this stuff the other night. I said, I know you're just thinking to yourself, well, Clay, you're just mad because it affected you. Well, you're damn right. I'm voting with my pocketbook. It affected me. It also affects, they don't just affect pissed off conservatives that like to spew our opinions on the battlefield, known as TikTok or the internet. It also affects people right here in Mississippi who own businesses that advertise exclusively on TikTok through TikTok Shop and using the influencer business model. There's a whole industry out there that moves through this thing. The other platforms just don't offer it. Will just go do it somewhere else. You can't. It doesn't exist. Can't do it necessarily on Instagram. There's not Instagram Shop. Yes, you can sell some stuff on there. It ain't nothing like TikTok as far as the TikTok Shop goes. I think I've ordered one thing on TikTok Shop. It ain't my deal. I don't really promote products on there. Nothing like that. I've tried a few of those things. It never worked for me as far as like selling the stuff and making the money like that. But there's entire brick and mortar businesses here in Mississippi. They're going to be put out of business because of Michael Guest and the other congressmen here in Mississippi voting to ban TikTok. It's the most un-Republican thing that I've ever seen them do. Oh, but China, Clay, China is getting our information. China knows that we like stupid TikTok dances. The transes people, Clay, is how they're pushing the trans agenda. It's through TikTok. And every other app. Not just TikTok. They want TikTok gone because TikTok won't give them a back door to our data. We're suddenly worried about American companies selling our information to China versus China just getting it for free for themselves. I've said it since day one. I've been very consistent on this. Trump's even turned the corner and said that he would boycott any TikTok ban. Now, they're going to get it all done before he's in office, and I don't think he's going to be able to undo it. It's the problem. But I've been very consistent that I'm way more concerned about the California communists whose platforms we're streaming on right now, sans X and Rumble. I was basically talking about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that. I'm way more concerned about them than I am China. Like, we're supposed to hear China. That's like, China's the conservative boogeyman, like Russia is the Democrat boogeyman. I'm way more concerned about the American boogeymen that are ruining our lives every day. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. I am nowhere near through with this story. What do y'all think about that? What are your thoughts? Should TikTok be banned? There's nothing going on TikTok that ain't going on the other platforms. Of course, I don't support all that bullshit. But there's nothing going on over there that ain't going on the other platforms. Except you actually can make money over there. I've yet to crack the Omega code to make thousands upon thousands of dollars on Facebook or Instagram with the same amount of views that I get on TikTok. Or even more. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, here live on WYAB 103.9 FM, as well as the Save JXN, YouTube, X, and Rumble accounts this morning. We're streaming in 4K video over there. Also, WYAB.com, TuneIn app, and Alexa. Just search WYAB. This segment brought to you by Stonington Farm grass-fed beef. They're coming up here to Mississippi, to Jackson, the Jackson area. Not actually Jackson, the Tri-County area, this Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 13th. Have I been saying this right? There's no way. It's Friday the 13th. Look at my calendar here. Friday, yeah, the 13th. Make sure I'm saying that right. I was like, huh. Anyway, for this Friday the 13th, they will be at Brandon, Ridgeland, and Florence, dropping off your orders. Pick whichever location is best for you. But go to SteiningtonFarm.com. That's Steinington with 2 N's, farm, not farms, farm.com, and select your grass-fed order today. If y'all follow me on Instagram, I don't think I posted it on Facebook. If you follow me on the Save JXN Instagram, I posted a picture of my steaks I cooked last night. Some ribeyes and some fillets, or tenderloin. Why do we call it filet, but it's actually called tenderloin? I've never bought anything that said filet on it at the store. It's always called a tenderloin. Anyhow, 100% grass-fed, 100% grass-finished, mRNA-free, antibiotic-free, steroid-free, Mississippi-raised beef directly from the farm to your table. No middleman involved except Clay Edwards. I'm the only middleman telling y'all about it. You are going to take that order when you meet the Steinington Farm delivery wagon. Miss Katie Steinington, the owner, the wife of Dr. Steinington. This is all done by a doctor, by the way. She hands you your order and takes your payment. That is directly as farm to table as it gets outside of you killing and butchering that cow yourself. And you're supporting a Mississippi-owned business. Technically, you're supporting 2 Mississippi-owned businesses. The farmer and the Clay Edwards Show by supporting that great sponsor. So that's awesome. Thank y'all. Get your order this Friday, just in time for all your Christmas cooking. Can't go wrong there. I'm going to make something with some of that ground beef I got. All right, I want to circle back real quick. We talked about, we don't have about 5 minutes left. The Supreme Court ban on TikTok. Is the Supreme Court not going to hear the ban? The ban is official. It is going to happen. Here's the details on TikTok and why I am fired up. Federal Appeals Court upholds law that could ban TikTok. Say platform could be unavailable in U.S. This is from NBC News. The D.C. Circuit Court voted to uphold a ban, citing national security threats and the collection of data from TikTok users. You're never going to explain to me what kind of data TikTok could be collecting that I care about. I just don't. They got our debit card information. They know what kind of music we like. They know how we move around. All that data is available publicly. Your GPS data on your phone, all that's available. When you go on these apps and you give it permission to track you. A panel of 3 federal appeals court judges ruled unanimously Friday to uphold a law that could potentially ban TikTok in the United States. How can you be about my First Amendment and the Constitution if you are banning my ability to have free speech? Michael Guest. The legislation passed in April by Congress and signed into law by President Joe Biden, that Joe from Scranton. It requires TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance to sell it to an American owner by January 19th, 2025, or face an effective ban. That date, January 19th, is absolutely no mistake. That was by design because Joe Biden wants to ban TikTok the day before President Trump takes office and can't undo it. That is no mistake. In a majority opinion, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit said, quote, "We recognize that this decision has significant implications for TikTok and its users. If the platform does not divest, the court said it will effectively be unavailable in the United States for at least a time. Consequently, TikTok's millions of users will need to find alternative media for communication," the opinion continued. Friday's decision sets the table for TikTok to take its case to the Supreme Court. In a statement, TikTok pinned its hopes on the Supreme Court ruling in its favor. The Supreme Court has an established historical record of protecting Americans' rights to free speech, and we expect they will do just that on this important constitutional issue. The company said in a statement, "Unfortunately, the TikTok ban was conceived and pushed through based upon inaccurate, flawed, and hypothetical information, resulting in outright censorship of the American people. The TikTok ban, unless stopped, will silence the voices of 170 million Americans here in the U.S. and around the world on January 19th, 2025. The opinion said a 90-day extension can be granted based upon progress towards the divestiture order. During his campaign, President-elect Donald Trump, who takes office on January 20th, said he would save TikTok from a ban if elected. The opinions among his announced cabinet members are mixed on whether TikTok should face a ban. TikTok argued to the judge that the order to sell the platform was unconstitutional, violating the First Amendment rights, and that China does not influence its algorithm. TikTok creators have also argued that the platform has been unfairly targeted, noting that user data from the U.S. tech companies has been collected and sold around the world. Airbnb sold all your information to China. Don't forget that. The majority opinion said the First Amendment exists to protect free speech in the United States. Here, the government acted solely to protect the freedom from a foreign adversary nation and to limit the adversary's ability to gather data on people in the United States. TikTok has become a powerful tool for Americans to make money, promote small businesses, and have their voices heard. It is used by around half the U.S. population, including dozens of politicians. Launched it, blah, 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 blah. None of that means anything to me. I do not care. They chose our Mississippi Republicans, them good old boys, as Jerry said in a text. The good old boys said, hey, we got all our insider trading over here. We're getting rich. Screw y'all. Screw you content creators. So, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube being my proverbial weapon of mass destruction, my large following, I've decided to point that at our conservative Republican congressman, and we're going to raise hell for the foreseeable future about it. We're going to use this platform to do so. And I'm probably going to lose a lot of followers over this. A lot of fans who just can't get their head around why I support this. Because I'm a grown-up, and I make my own decisions is why. I vote with my pocketbook, just like everybody else. Let's land the plane. We'll be right back to do just that here on the Clay Edwards Show. Now, I had full damn intentions on talking about sports today and did not do it. Every time I put like this official list of things I'm going to talk about out, I never get to about half of it. But with that said, fun show today. Richard says, no banning. TikTok is taking away our First Amendment rights. Old Joe hates TikTok because TikTok has thousands of posts against him in camel toe. Yeah, and here's what TikTok did. And look, and I hate TikTok. I hate the way they censor over there. I'm having to pick my poison here, but I do not like this country's ability to ban something. We don't need to be banning things. I've wasn't for banning squatted trucks. I don't like squatted trucks. I think they look ridiculous. I'm not for, they've banned kratom in all the cities around here. I think that's ridiculous. They got really, really bad data on that. But the more I think about it, I'm going to end up at war with mothers before it's all said and done. And they're fear-mongering. But with that said, this is going to be my hill to die on for the foreseeable future. And I know I'm right. Even Trump turned the corner on this thing and has come out in support of not banning TikTok. When he's the one who first uttered the words talking about banning TikTok. And, nobody wanted to do it. But then when it became politically advantageous for the Democrats to do it because they thought that Trump could use it to win, or their big California communist donors wanted it banned, then, boom, it got done. Really want to know why these Republicans wanted it banned. I get pissed off thinking about it. I really do. Really, really pissed off thinking about it. Michael Guest and Ezell and these other ones. Is it Ezell and Trent Kelly and Mike Ezell and Mike Guest? Is it Mike Ezell? Anyway, Ezell, Guest, and Kelly all voted with BENNIE THOMPSON to put a bunch of hardworking Mississippi content creators and TikTok shop owners out of business. I'm just going to tell you, a lot of these people, they will never be able to make the kind of money they're making on TikTok legally on any other social media platform. Do you think the other platforms are going to suddenly start paying more money? No. They're doing away with the platform that creators are making the most money on. Well, they're just eliminating the competition, and they'll just keep paying the scrap money, pennies on the dollar that they are now. That's how business works. That's what I would do. I don't look like we're coming back to radio. It looks like I ran over. Let's see. Yeah. Don't look like we're going to make it back from radio. Guys, I got to sign off. I'll see y'all back on here later. Peace out.